So one of the things I notice about runners over 50, and myself included, is we start losing mobility of the hip. And many of you complain about how stiff your hips feel before and after a run. So we're gonna address that. In particular, we're gonna address hip internal rotation. So what does that look like? Internal rotation of the hip is your ability to turn your foot outward this way. That looks like external rotation, but what's happening is that the hip is moving inward to turn the foot outward. So we wanna have as many movement options available as we get older so that we don't compensate in other areas. So today we're going to focus on internal rotation, and an easy way to do that, since we're all time constrained, is by including it into our strength training. And hopefully you're doing something called the RDL, or some type of hip hinge movement, which is really beneficial for many reasons, but this is a variation of the RDL that will help to drive internal rotation of the hip. So we're going to work on the left hip. I'm gonna go into a stagger stance position. I'm gonna put most of my weight on that front foot, about 90%. My other leg is going to be in the back with the heel up. From the side angle, that looks like this. So you notice that my feet aren't too wide apart. They're fairly close together, but they're apart, and my heel is up so that all my weight can be on that front foot. And if I'm doing this correctly, going to my hip hinge over here, and by the way, I'm also thinking about my tripod foot. So I'm thinking about the base of my little toe, my big toe, and my heel to have that stability there. So in this position, as I'm doing my hip hinge, I should feel quite a bit of pressure and tension right over here on that hip joint. And this motion is gonna help groove that rotation into the joint. So that's what it looks like. My shin is gonna be vertical as I come up and down over here. And again, I should feel quite a bit of tension over here. Now, if I want to further work on that or add this into my strength training, I'm going to get a dumbbell or kettlebell. And from the front, what it looks like is I'm going to come down, and if it looks at the bottom, like my body is turning over here a little bit. But what's happening is actually I'm sitting back a little bit more into the hip so that my pelvis is turning backwards. And in doing so, it looks like my back is actually turning, but it's not. So here, just like that, or from this angle. Like that. So I would go for about 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps. If you're looking to really go heavy on this, obviously you can reduce your rep count, but increase your weights. And this is, again, an easy way to increase your hip internal rotation if you're a runner over 50, where you don't have a lot of time, but you want to include something that's going to improve your mobility. So stay tuned for more tips.